Probably the predicate thing we have to do, and the U.S. has already made a statement to this, is we have to make, Jeff Korn's going to get me about this after the conference, he's right, he's going to pick up his pen and take a note. We have to do what the U.S. has done in the military commissions by saying that it is now, as a matter of international law, illegal for a civilian to kill a combatant. We have to make that, as a matter of international law, illegal, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're going to incentivize people, if you're going to bring these non-state actors now back into the fold, you have to criminalize the activities that allow them to blend with freedom. And one way you can do that is you make, as a matter of international law, that a criminal activity. They cannot, as a matter of law, kill somebody. Now, we have the international courts, you know, the ICT, who can sometimes get to these people, but there is no crime for killing a combatant as a civilian. That is not a crime. We need to criminalize that single piece of activity. Once we have done that, then we need to look. So once we've done that, then we need to look at how do we incentivize the armed groups. Let me give you a short list. What do you think about offering diplomatic recognition or status for leaders of organized armed groups who commit to abide by the law of armed conflict? Let me make this predicate very clear. All of these incentives I'm about to tell you would only kick into effect if that organized armed group not only made a commitment to, but then actually did abide by the law of armed conflict, demonstrated they could abide by the law of armed conflict. So once they've done that, then we would give diplomatic recognition and status for leaders of those organized armed groups. Now that gives them a platform, that allows them to travel, that allows them to go and gin up, you know, if they want to try and get help, they can. So, all right, we'll give them that maybe. We will make them immune from civil and criminal prosecution except for serious crimes. So they can't murder, they can't rape, they can't arson. But they would make them immune from civil process and criminal process, or criminal prosecution except for serious crimes. We would give them the freedom to travel. Right now, they don't feel free to travel. I mean, Bashir feels free to travel, even if he died by the ICT. But most leaders of organized armed groups don't feel free to travel, right, for fear they may be arrested and then turned over. So we give them freedom to travel. We would allow that organization legal personality. If they're willing to distinguish themselves, to bear arms openly, to put on uniforms, to comply with law of armed conflict, to not kill our civilians, we'll give them legal personality that they then can use to their benefit. We will give them international recognition and and the legal blessings that come with that. We will give them maybe observer status at the UN. You're getting skeptical. I know you're getting skeptical. I'm not saying we give them a seat. I said observer status, and we might give them organizational combatant immunity. Now, why does you say I'm making a mistake? I'm not making a mistake. I'm not giving them a seat at the UN. But here's what I'm saying: look at the percentage of civilians who are dying in conflicts now. 80%. If we could convince all of the organized armed groups to stand up, put on uniforms, bear their arms openly, abide by the Law Act, how much would that be worth to you? How much would it be worth to you if you could say that we're going to go back to 19%, or we're going to go back to some lesser percent? We're going to have these people abiding by the law of armed conflict. How much is it worth to you? Now, you may say, well, they won't do it. You may be a skeptic, right? Well, I'm with you. They may not do it, and in fact, they probably won't do it, in which case they wouldn't get any of those benefits.
Many of them will.
But some of them would, I think. Maybe not Al-Qaeda, maybe not in this specific region, but I think if you look in Africa, I think some of those organized armed groups would be willing to step forward.
Mr. Arafat has been given all these benefits.
And could you wait until the presentation?
I know you're skeptical, and it really may not work, but I think there are things we can do. You tell me what we're doing now is working. You can't tell me that because it's not. So let's try and think creatively.